Hello. I need to tell you something, and I know it's not going to be easy. What I'm about to share isn't something I'm proud of. It's not the kind of thing that makes me feel good, but I've realized that keeping it inside any longer isn't fair to you or to myself. For a long time, I've carried this weight quietly, convincing myself that silence was better than honesty. I told myself that maybe things would get easier, that maybe these thoughts would fade on their own. But they haven't. They've only grown louder, echoing in my mind until I could no longer ignore them. So here I am, trying to face the truth, trying to face you. I know that what I'm about to say might hurt you. You might even hate me for it. And honestly, I would understand. But more than anything, I owe you honesty. You deserve that. You've always been patient with me, even when I wasn't making things easy. You've been open, loving, understanding, and I haven't always matched that same level of vulnerability. So this is me trying to meet you where you've always met me, in honesty. Before I say everything, I just want you to know that this isn't coming from a place of anger or disappointment. It's coming from a place of confusion, fear, and the deep desire to find clarity. I'm not doing this to hurt you. I'm doing this because pretending everything is fine when I'm struggling inside feels like a betrayal to both of us. I've been avoiding you lately. You've probably noticed. The texts have been slower. The calls have become shorter. I've said I'm busy or tired or distracted, and sometimes that's been true, but not always. The truth is, I've been avoiding you not because I don't care, but because I care too much. And that care has turned into worry. You see, there's something about us that I've been wrestling with, something that I didn't want to admit even to myself. It's the difference between us, not in how we feel, not in how deeply we connect, but in how the world sees us. That difference has been haunting me more than I'd like to admit. It's been eating away at me quietly, making me anxious whenever we're out in public, whenever I imagine how people might perceive us. I find myself overthinking the smallest moments, the way people might look at us when we walk side by side, the subtle glances or whispers that might follow. I know it sounds irrational, maybe even shallow, but these thoughts have been hard to silence. Sometimes I lie awake at night thinking about it, how other people might judge us because of our age difference. And I hate that it bothers me, because I know love isn't about numbers. I know that connection doesn't come with an expiration date or a rulebook, but still, that fear lingers. And it's not because I doubt you. Please understand that. My feelings for you are real, deep, and genuine. You've become such an important part of my life that it scares me sometimes. You've shown me parts of love I didn't even know existed. You've made me believe in soul connections, in the kind of understanding that transcends logic. But despite all of that, there's still this small voice in my head whispering doubts about how others might see us, about whether we'll always have to defend what we have. Do you ever think about that too? Do you ever wonder how people might judge us when they see us together? Do you ever feel the weight of their stares? Or is it just me? Maybe I'm overthinking. Maybe I'm letting my insecurities win. But I've always been someone who worries about what others think, someone who feels the need to be understood and accepted. And when I imagine people not understanding us, it terrifies me. Because the truth is, I'm proud of what we have. I'm proud of how we love, how we've built something beautiful despite all odds. But there's this fragile part of me that fears the world won't see it the same way, that they'll reduce it to something it's not. And that thought hurts me more than I can express. Please don't think for a second that I'm ashamed of you. I'm not. You're one of the most incredible people I've ever met. You've changed the way I see life, love, and even myself. You've shown me patience, tenderness, and depth. But my fear isn't about you. It's about them, about others. It's about the world that always seems to have something to say about what it doesn't understand. I guess what's really been bothering me is this. I'm afraid of being judged. I'm afraid that when people see us together, they'll jump to conclusions, make cruel assumptions, or say things that neither of us deserve to hear. I don't want anyone to disrespect you, to make you feel uncomfortable because of me. And I hate admitting this because it makes me feel weak. It makes me feel like I'm letting the opinions of others interfere with something sacred. But pretending I don't care would be a lie. You know, I wish I could just silence those voices, the ones that tell me to worry, to doubt, to hide. I wish I could just live freely and love openly, without fear of being misunderstood. But that's something I'm still learning how to do. I've always been the kind of person who overthinks everything, who tries to predict every reaction, every judgment, every possible outcome. And when it comes to you, I find myself doing that even more. Because losing you is the one thing I don't want to risk. You might think I'm exaggerating, but these fears have affected me deeply. They've made me question whether I'm strong enough to handle the noise that comes from loving someone who doesn't fit into the world's expectations. And that's what I've been struggling with. I know love shouldn't need validation. I know the world doesn't get to decide who belongs together. But the world can still be cruel, and I've seen how judgment can slowly break even the strongest hearts. I don't ever want that to happen to us. There's a part of me that wonders, will people ever truly understand what we have? Will they see the purity in it, the honesty, the connection that runs deeper than time or circumstance? Or will they just see two people who, by society's standards, don't match? And the worst part is, sometimes I start to internalize those doubts. I start to wonder if maybe they're right. If maybe we're trying to hold on to something that the world will never accept. And when I think that way, it makes me feel guilty because it's not fair to you. You deserve someone who's fearless about loving you out loud. But please don't mistake my fear for lack of love. It's the opposite. I love you so deeply that I worry about the pain the world could cause you because of me. That's the real confession. I've been scared, not of loving you, but of what loving you might cost us in a world that doesn't always understand love in its truest form. Sometimes I imagine what life would be like if none of that mattered, if people didn't stare, if whispers didn't exist, if love could just be. I picture us walking down the street, hand in hand, laughing, without a single thought about who's watching. I picture us being exactly who we are without hesitation. That's the world I want to live in. That's the kind of love I want to grow into. One that's unafraid, one that stands tall even in the face of judgment. But I'm not quite there yet. And admitting that breaks my heart. Because you deserve someone fearless. You deserve someone who can love you without hesitation, without the shadow of doubt, without looking over their shoulder. And I want to become that person for you. So I'm asking you to be patient with me. I'm not running away. I'm not giving up. I'm just trying to be honest about where I am emotionally. I want to work through this with you. I want us to talk about it openly, to understand how we can protect our love from the noise of the outside world. Maybe together, we can find ways to strengthen what we have so that no opinion, no stare, no whisper can touch it. Because what we share, it's real, it's rare, and it's worth fighting for. I know I've made mistakes in how I've handled things. Avoiding you, shutting down, pretending everything was fine. None of that was right. I thought I was protecting you, but really, I was just avoiding the truth. You deserve better than my silence. You deserve honesty, even when it's messy. So here it is. I love you. I'm afraid. And I'm trying to find the courage to stop letting fear make my decisions for me. Sometimes I imagine telling the world our story, every part of it, the way we met, the way our souls seem to recognize each other instantly, the way our laughter fits perfectly together, the way you bring peace to my chaos. And I think if they could only see what I see, maybe they'd understand. Maybe they'd stop judging. But even if they never do, I want to get to a place where that doesn't matter anymore. I want to learn how to protect our love not by hiding it, but by standing confidently in it. I want to learn how to let go of the fear of being misunderstood. Maybe that's the next step for me, to unlearn the habit of caring too much about what others think. Because when I look at you, when I think about what we share, I realize that none of their opinions could ever compare to the truth of what's between us. You've taught me that love doesn't have to fit into a box to be beautiful. It doesn't have to follow a timeline or make sense to anyone else. It just has to be honest. And that's what I want, for us to be honest, raw, and real. I know this conversation might be hard to hear. I know it might stir emotions, confusion, maybe even doubt. But please understand, this isn't the end. It's the beginning. The beginning of me facing my fears, of me trying to become the person you and our love deserve. So I'm asking you, can we talk about this? Can we explore what it means to truly stand together against the noise? Can we promise each other that we'll lead with love, no matter what the world says? Because I believe in us. I believe that what we have isn't fragile, it's sacred. And even though fear has clouded my heart, the truth underneath it is still love. And love, I think, is always worth the risk. So this is my confession. I'm scared, yes, but I'm also ready. Ready to stop hiding, ready to stop running, ready to grow with you. If you're still here, still listening, then maybe that's a sign. Maybe it means you're ready too. So let's take a deep breath, look each other in the eye, and start again with honesty, with courage, and with love that refuses to be defined by anything other than what's real between us. Because despite all my fears, one truth remains unshakable. I choose you, and I'm learning, slowly but surely, to choose us, no matter what the world says.